we're going to start our amazing masterclass today. I am so excited to start this masterclass, as what I'm sharing today is a brand new roadmap specifically delivered and designed for mission-driven founders. Alex, are we live? Yeah? Amazing. Okay, so welcoming everybody joining here on Zoom. Welcome Andrea, welcome Tracy, welcome Team Gaia. I think you've been with us before, Team Gaia. Welcome Amanda, welcome Alex, welcome Andrea, welcome everybody on LinkedIn. My name is Sarah Simmons and I'm really happy and excited to be with you today. Amanda, Team Gaia, Tracy, I invite you to put your cameras on and really engage in this masterclass, as this is not recorded. This is also completely live. So this masterclass is for you guys. It's going to reveal to you, hi Yo-Yo, where are you from? And guys, also share in the chat, where are you from? I want to know what country you're from and what do you do, right? Where are you from and what do you do? So no worries. Team Gaia, will you write your name so we know who you are? And then we can engage with you as well and talk to you. So, hi Alex, you're from Florida. Well, I am from London. Hi Yo-Yo, do you want to put your camera on? You're from San Diego. Tracy, where are you from? Andrea, where are you from? I live near Abbey Road in London, if you know that area where the Beatles walked across the zebra crossing. Everybody knows it from all over the world. And I'm here as a mission-driven founder, just like you guys. So I want to know what you do. What do you guys do? Do you make products? Do you make SaaS? Are you coaches? Are you innovators? What do you guys do? Because drop it in the chat here, as the roadmap I'm sharing with you today is specifically designed for any mission-driven founder. So Yo-Yo, what do you do? You've got some lovely things behind you. I want to know, what is it, right? So you're in SaaS, and we have a SaaS founder right now doing this program and following the roadmap I'm sharing with you today, who said, Sarah, after years of trying to scale her innovation, in just 60 days, she was able to make buyers see her as category of one. So that's what today is all about. It's really all about giving you a roadmap, not something to put away in your cupboard or to, say, that's nice, something that you can actually use straight away as soon as you finish today, that's going to help and is helping people just like you scale by anywhere from 200K to 2 million in additional sales in real revenue in months, not years. So Yo-Yo, you're in jewelry. That's brilliant. What kind of jewelry do you make and how long have you been going? And what's the revenue goal you want to reach in the next 12 months? Tracy, what do you do? Team Gaia, when you want to share it here. Alex, Andrea, write something about what you guys do. So I want to share with you what you are going to hear in this masterclass. And welcome, Tracy. You're just heading home and you're in Canada. We have several Canadian members. So that's great to hear. And I'd love to know, Tracy, what you do. So you're getting today, this is a system, right? It's a very simple system that is underpinned with buyer psychology, so that, this system will enable you to kind of stop scratching your head and thinking, gosh, how do I make myself so clear for a buyer to understand what makes me unique? That's what you're going to get here. Not only that, but a very simple growth roadmap that doesn't exist anywhere else. And it's not something that can be like Googled, searched. It's not something an agency does. It's not something AI can teach. It's something very, very simple that when you follow this roadmap, you can do it straight away. Hi, Jean. Welcome. Asking questions. Where are you from? Write it in the chat. And what do you do? We're just getting started into the Buyer Psychology Masterclass that is underpinned with 13 years of buyer psychology mastery, where I personally have been inside the buying rooms of Harvey Nichols and billion-dollar brands. And I've been the one that's made the decisions of who gets bought and not what gets bought. And that I realized through the process that there is a formula to what enables you to be bought no matter what you do. And that is the formula I'm sharing with you today. So a little bit about who I am. I help founders, coaches, and consultants from startup to legacy scale. And the one thing I see consistently is this: no matter what your goal is, what you want to reach as the next level, what really matters to buyers is that you operate in a systemized way. Whether you're at 50K wanting to reach six figures, or 200K wanting to reach 500K, or you're already at seven figures and you want to scale to 8. When you systemize your entire business, your positioning, your offering, your marketing, your sales in a way using buyer psychology, it enables you to reach your goal with ease and flow. And as I said to Jean, you just joined, what I mentioned is that this isn't something you're going to put away in a cupboard. It's not something you can Google. This is a very simple roadmap. We're talking about 5 steps. You can use it straight away as soon as you finish this masterclass. So I want to know from you guys, what is your next revenue milestone that you want to reach? Write it in the chat here. What is your next revenue milestone that you want to reach? So Yo-Yo, it's 100K, amazing. And Yo-Yo, what impact will that enable you to achieve, right? Jean, you're founder of Nayak AI. You work with real-time meeting intelligence for sales, and we help them adjust to buyers in the call where the revenue is being negated. We give guide on IQ, EQ, and agenda. So you want to reach 1 million. So what is each of your biggest challenge right now, right, on reaching those goals? What is it? What's your biggest challenge on reaching the goal? Visibility. It's a very noisy world. I hear you. And Yo-Yo, sustainable business for you and your family, and you've been trying to keep this business running for years. I hear you. And conversion. I hear you. So we've got conversion and visibility. And guess what? They're really, really connected as well. Like in this very noisy world we live in. Okay. So you've mentioned which areas you're in, which is awesome. Now, I want you to be honest with yourselves. Are you thinking and acting in a way that buyers understand your unique value instantly? Just write yes or no. Right? Are you thinking and acting in a way and presenting yourselves that buyers understand your unique value instantly? Like literally like that. So trying and probably not. No. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Now I want to know, what is the one thing you keep doing that you know is not going to get you that instant buyer visibility, like clarity, right? What's holding you back? Hi, Nikki. Welcome. Hi. Write in the chat where you're from and what you do. We're just getting started. And I'm asking everybody to think, what is it, right, that you keep doing that's holding you back from buyers being able to understand your unique value instantly? So not sure about social media content. What else is it that's holding you back? Something you keep doing every day and you're like, why am I doing that when it's, it's not clear to buyers what my instant value is? So what I mean by that, Jean, Yeah, trying to find the right message. There you go. Hard to put into words. Exactly. That's it. And this is the thing we're going to be answering today. Like, how do you get buyers to really, understand your unique value in your businesses, in your innovation consistently, so they see you, they hear you, and they just know that you're the business for them. And this is the thing, you're talking about messaging, you're talking about content. And if I was to explain to you that for buyers, what they need is instant clarity, and they expect as a founder that you've done that roadmap for them to really give your unique value in a very simple way. Okay? And that isn't easy to do. And that's what today is all about. I'm giving you the roadmap to be able to do that. Now, I also, Nikki, you're saying maybe I have too many things I'm trying to communicate at the same time. I hear you massively with that. So totally, really key. What buyers want to understand, and they need you to do the thinking for them and systemize your business for them so that you are able to basically go through a process which makes a buyer not have to think about anything and just be able to know, yes, this is the business for me, this is the product for me, this is the service for me. And as I said, that's not easy to do, right? What I'm sharing with you today is 20 years of being a buyer myself and being a founder myself that enabled me to come up with this roadmap I'm sharing. Now, it's not easy, but it's simple when you follow the 5 steps I'm sharing today, and that's why you're here. So I want you to be honest with yourself. What would your business look like right now? How different would it look if buyers had clarity, instant clarity of why choosing you instead of someone cheaper, louder, or less qualified? What difference would that make? Where they just saw you, they saw your messaging, they saw your business, and they just said, yes, that's it. This is the one for me. This is the business for me. More sales, more follows, money, money, money. Yes, what else? What else would it do? What would it do for your impact, right? Welcome Patricia joining, welcome Karie joining. Do share what country you're from, what you do, and welcome iPhone 342 joining. So if you had buyers, were able to give them instant clarity of what your unique value was, it would give you more sales, more follows, more money, more impact, more notoriety, less mental effort. Yes. And I really care about your impact. That's what I'm here for. I only work with mission-driven founders who want to make a difference with the world, so I want to know, in terms of impact, what impact, like whatever your area of impact is, what impact would that allow you to do that you haven't been able to reach? And impact means different things. It can mean anything to anyone. Okay? So what impact would this clarity enable you to have? And Karie, welcome. You're from Canada. You make all natural perfume. Amazing. We help many people in the beauty space, which is brilliant. Okay, so I want you to be thinking about that impact you want to be making. Write your dream here for the next 12 months. Do you want to impact 1 million people, 100 people? Do you want to give jobs to 4,000 people, 10,000 people? Our founders, are helping people across the world, in all sorts of different areas, in SaaS, in product, in coaching. They're helping people transform their lives. They're giving jobs to people. They're making the impact that they dream of. And that's what I want for you guys. Because when you unlock, the roadmap I'm sharing with you today, and how to give buyers that instant clarity of your unique value in a very simple way, it's the game changer. One of our SaaS members, she said to me, she was talking at a conference after being with me for 30 days. And she said, Sarah, after years of trying, I was able to take this complex SaaS innovation we do, this mission that we have, and be able to explain it so simply that suddenly I have no doubt my business is going to become $1 billion business. And since that time, she's also built amazing, huge partnerships. Now, your dream might be 100,000, it might be 1 million, it might be 10 million, it might be 1 billion. It doesn't matter what your dream for impact is. What matters is that whoever you want to influence, you can give them that instant clarity on your unique values. So Yo-Yo, you want to donate to programs that support design, trade, and education for young women. That's amazing. And Tracy, your business is Second Horizon Advisory. You help people navigate their next chapter, whatever that is, menopause, relationships, personal growth. That's amazing. And through that, you want to help them with AI, helping them find their person. You just started in April, but it's been extremely busy. So what's your biggest challenge with getting bought, Tracy? Okay, so here's the thing. You're all brilliant. Okay, I know you are. Jean, Nikki, Yo-Yo, Alex, Andrea, Tracy, Patricia, Team Gaia, Karie. I know you're all brilliant. And everybody joining us on LinkedIn and YouTube. Your mission, your thoughts, your actions brought you exactly here, right now. But what that also means is that your thoughts and your actions both need to change if you want to reach that next level of impact. And that's what we're doing in this next 45 minutes. What you're getting today is a 5-step playbook. By the end of this masterclass, you're going to have the exact system that you can follow that will take you from being overlooked or send me an email or that's interesting response from buyers to being really consistently bought as the category of one leader in your niche. And you're also going to hear real stories of mission-driven founders just like you applying this process, going from all the same feelings that you guys have to actually being able to, like I said, go and be bought and go and achieve the mission that they want to have really quickly. Because what I care about most importantly for you is that you achieve your dream for impact fast. Does that sound good, everyone? Right? I want to get you where you want to go fast. Yeah? You with me? Brilliant. And my team, we've got 2 members in the waiting room if you want to let them in. Before we go any further, today I'm also opening up a unique opportunity of 5 spots for a direct call with me. Now, this is at the end of the session. I think we might be opening up those slots earlier. Alex is going to give you a link for that. Now, this slot is where I help you as a founder unlock how to get buyers to see you and buy from you as the only one in your niche. Now, that's a strategy call. Now, usually I've got 9 slots available, but just 5 with me. The rest are with my team. So I'll explain more about that as we go through. But just so you know, if you want that call with me, as I explain it as we go through, make sure you book it quickly when you see the link. Hi, Dr. Makiba, who's just joined. Who else has just joined? Write in the chat where you're from. And who else have we got? Pamela, welcome. Do feel free to put your camera on. Write in the chat where you're from and what you do. So let's get clear, everyone. Unless you're already established as the number one in your niche, the pressure to build sustainable wealth has increased and the time to build your impact has decreased. There are many factors for that. AI, increasing the amount of entrepreneurs that are in the world, and also there's a window. I'll explain more about that window later, but basically mission-driven business is exploding. So there is a window right now. If you've been a mission-driven founder for 12 months or 12 years, the time to really become known to buyers as the number one in your niche is now. My question to you is, what are you doing about it? This opportunity, right? Are you taking matters into your own hands, trying to figure out what buyers value about you, which is smart but risky, right? Are you doing that? Put a hands up, trying to figure it all out yourself. Yeah? Yeah? No? Jean, tell me what you're doing. Patricia said yes, right? Or are you doing this? This is another choice. So one choice is figuring it out on your own. Another choice is implementing many growth systems at once. which is very confusing and it brings a lot of risk. And so we either try and figure things out on ourselves or we implement lots of systems, and that leads to large recurring investments of cash, time, overhead, complexity. And I found myself the hard way, and my founders do too. Who knows if it's going to pay off? Now, here is what I learned, right? I said at the beginning, for anyone who joined later, I only work with mission-driven founders and innovators. And here's what Warren Buffett famously shared, right? It's not how hard you row, it's just the boat you're in. By the end of this masterclass, you will have discovered the new boat for mission-driven founders, particularly. Hello from Atlanta. Yeah, amazing. What do you do, Dr. Makiba? Right. So for mission-driven founders, there is a new boat. Okay, here is why. Because as a mission-driven founder, I know you're innovating something new. Okay. And the thing is, in our world, I will keep mentioning this, like going like this. Buyers need instant clarity of what makes you unique. So when you have an innovation, it's complicated and buyers need simplicity to buy. So which boat have you been rowing in? Trying to figure things out in your alone, which some of you have put your hands up, or you've been buying systems and experts that don't talk to each other, and that's created more confusion than clarity. So option A or option B, write it in the chat here. So boat A, B, right? I hear you with the B, Gene. Lol, boat A and B. I hear you with that too, Yo-Yo. One of our clients, Carol, she'd been literally in A and B for like many years. And you'll hear about her later. And she was like, wow, Sarah, I didn't know there could just be one simple boat. So what we're talking today about is simplicity. Okay, it's a totally new, very simple boat designed for founders who are you guys on a mission to make a positive impact. And this boat isn't something you need to outsource or pay recurring fees for all the time. It's one system you implement forever. Okay, and that's what I'm teaching you. Let's get into it. Now, I'm going to give you more information and insights on what buyers actually want for free than most people ever give you. Why? Because I care about your mission. It's the only reason I do what I do, and I have been doing since 2007. My mission has been helping innovators build the impact they dream of. Because let's start with this truth, right? I'm brilliant at what I do, but I feel invisible to buyers. Who feels that? I'm brilliant at what I do, but I feel invisible to buyers. Yeah, I know you are brilliant, right? Now, here are founders just like you, right? Carol, who I mentioned, went from invisible to buyers, confused about all the different people telling her all these different things to do with a business. So boat A and boat B, and trying to figure it all out into herself, to actually implementing these 5 steps today and being seen and bought as the number one in her niche, and having consistent 200K sellout launches, which is leading her to now be able to scale to her dream, which is 8 figures and beyond. And more of the stories I will share with you as we go through. First, right, who is Sarah that you're spending your precious time with today? And I really don't take that for granted. That's again why I pack in giving you so much value, because I care about your time and I care about you getting fast results. So I'm a buyer who walked away from a multiple 6-figure salary to help people make an impact. Now, what I also am skilled in and have a degree in is buyer psychology. Basically, I went and I used that skill working for billion-dollar brands. And I was the one who decided which brand got bought and which didn't. And I realized as many innovators came to me that actually there were things missing in their business that didn't enable me as a buyer to buy from them. And I realized that I could use my skill for good or bad. And I wanted to use it for good. I wanted to not just help businesses make more money, I wanted to help innovators make more money and more impact. So I went to see my dad and said, what should I do? Carry on in the corporate world or take the harder world to become an innovator myself? And he said, you've got the skill to understand what makes buyers buy. You have to use it for good. So I quit my job and became an innovator myself. And that was when I, like you guys, did road A and road B, figured it out, trying to figure it out myself, and then using all those complex systems. I built my own jeans brand for years. I paid money to all these different experts, and I didn't get bought by buyers, even though I'd been a buyer myself. And, I followed what they said, and then I realized, hold on a minute, I'm a mission-driven founder, and buyers need clarity to buy. So I took a step back. And I then used my own buyer psychology system to build the simple roadmap I'm sharing with you today. And that took me from overlooked by buyers to the number one in my niche in months, not years. Winning awards, getting bought by the best stores, and really being able to build the impact I dream of. And that was when I realized that what was missing for founders is this roadmap. So that's when I built Impact Innovator. Now, we have been helping founders impact hundreds of thousands of people in the last 5 years using these very simple 5 steps. What I'm doing today is sharing with you how you can reverse engineer your business to be seen and bought by as a category of one business. Now, I'm going to explain what I mean by that in a minute. Just so you know this, the first founders who used it scaled from 2 million to 4 million in 18 months. So let's dive into secret one, category of one foundation. Here's what happens in an uncertain world. Buyers don't stop spending, they stop gambling. When the market goes uncertain, buyers choose category of one businesses, right? Now, that doesn't mean category of one positioning, it means category of one businesses. If you are replaceable or you're one of many, your business is at risk. Why do I keep saying this instant clarity you need to have? Because today your business has less than 3 seconds to stand out. Less than 3 seconds, guys. That's for real. Buyers are just scrolling, right? Scrolling on LinkedIn, scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on websites, scrolling on Google, scrolling. And your business needs to stand out. And that is when they buy from you. And that happens behind the scenes through the work you're doing. It doesn't just happen by magic. And it happens by following a roadmap, the one I'm sharing with you today. So you're in this window that I mentioned earlier. Mission-driven opportunity. No matter how long you've had your mission for, write it in the chat here. Have you had your mission for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? How long have you had your mission behind the businesses you have now? Alex, over 10. Nikki, 5. Andrea, 3. I want to hear more. Right? How long have you guys had your missions for? Okay, 1 year. Well, for those who've had their mission for 1 year, you're in a very lucky spot. Yo-yo, 5 years. Okay, why does this matter? Because we're in the most amazing opportunity of all time for mission-driven business. There is an $84 trillion wealth transfer happening from millennials, from the older generations down to millennials and Gen Z. Over 70% of them really care about purpose and mission before price. Those generations and everyone in general, right? It's not just the younger generations either. Since COVID, everybody has really been able to look around and say, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing with the money I'm spending? What am I doing with who I'm spending my money on? And people are making different decisions, purpose-led decisions. And they are choosing their leaders now. So with AI bringing more entrepreneurs and, a total collapse and change in everything, right? Which is going to be good and bad. And then mission driven having this acceleration, whether you've had your mission for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, or over 10, Now is the time to capitalize on it and be known as number one, not replaceable. Now, you know you're replaceable when you hear this. I'll think about it. Who's heard that one? Send me an email. Who's heard that one? I found something cheaper. Can I have a discount? Who's had that one? Right. I hear you. Okay? You know you're irreplaceable when you hear this. Yes. Where do I sign up? I can't wait to get started. My friends told me about you. I felt like you were made just for me. And the key here is you might have heard that once in a while. You might hear that 20%, 30% of the time. The key to being irreplaceable is being able to be that 80% of the time. Okay? That's what you're aiming for. And knowing who you be that with in terms of making sure that you're following your ideal client. I'll share more about that later with you. Now, the clarity question for you is, right now, if a buyer landed on your profile in 3 seconds, would they know you're the only choice? Right? Yes, no, or maybe in the chat. If a buyer landed on your profile in 3 seconds, would they know you are the only choice? No. Probably not. No. And why not? Okay. Is it because of lots of competition? Is it because your offer is complicated or something else? Okay. Highly saturated field, hyper-saturated market. Yep. What else? So anyone else want to dig in here? So in 3 seconds, would a buyer know you're the only choice for them or not? Yes or no? And if not, why not? So why not? Too complicated, lots of competition, saturated market, something else. Okay? So, new niche, new tech. Right, so they don't understand it yet. So that would probably be complicated and need to have a really simple roadmap. Now, welcoming to the new guys joining. Katrina, welcome. Lovely to see you. Patricia, Pamela, Tracy, do write and engage in the chat here. We are on foundation one, step one of getting buyers to see you as the only choice, building a category of one foundation that's going to take you from buyers like, oh, send me an email, or that's interesting, to yes, I need you in my life and I want to buy from you consistently. So the way to do this, right, building your category of one foundation is to focus on what makes you irreplaceable. You know, when you were saying earlier, you know, many things that you say about your business, right? The focus here on category of one foundation, and it's what we cover in our category of one growth assessment call together, is what makes you irreplaceable. Okay? Really pulling apart all the different things you do to get clear on what makes you irreplaceable. What makes you the obvious choice, not a good option, so that when you're in that saturated market, someone knows, hey, Yo-Yo is for me, Nikki's brand is for me, Jean's brand is for me, okay? And how you do that as well is to focus on the transformation you deliver and what your authentic story is, not just marketing copy. So here's a case study of one of our amazing members right now, Christy. Christy is a coach. She had an innovation in the wine space. She was building a SaaS platform and a network to educate people about wine. And she'd had a business for over 3 years. She was overwhelmed. She was in boat B, so many different systems. She was unclear about what made her offer the undisputed category of one. And she was exhausted and frustrated, wondering if her mission even mattered. And she'd given up a very successful corporate career for being a founder. And she was like, was this worth it? Christy shares this was the one shift that changed everything. And that moment for Christy, that change started first in her category of one growth assessment call, where I helped Christy strip back from all the different parts of her offering. What was the key thing that made her irreplaceable? And as she shared here, within minutes, I'd helped her flip her entire positioning from being one of many to being a category of one. And that single shift changed everything. Now Christy is consistently signing up 5 to 10 new members in her business every month. The category of one foundation isn't about changing what you do, right? It's about making you irreplaceable by stripping you back and finding the thing within you that you're doing that is irreplaceable. Okay, that's it. Now, when you do that, like some of you here want to reach 100K, some of you want to reach 1 million, some of you are making products, some SaaS, some different innovations. As I said at the beginning, I care about your impact, your growth, whatever you want to achieve. When you start to systemize and simplify your business in each of the steps that I'm sharing with you today, you break through in days, right? Christy's shift started in 30 days straight away. And that has enabled Christy. She didn't become better, she became incomparable. And that's what you must do in a hyper-saturated market or a new market. You must become incomparable. And we don't focus on changing you. We focus on unlocking what buyers value most about you in a simple way. Okay, and we focus on doing that with your existing business, like we did it with Christy in 30 days. She was able to stop spending money on all those complicated things and build her one in-house system for growth. Now, the clarity of one question I have for you is, how much would being a clear category of one enable you to increase your business in the next 90 days? 3 times, 10 times, 100 times. If you could just, buyers came to you and they're like, yeah, oh my God, Dr. Makiba, I know why to choose you. Hi, Jean. Yeah, I get it. Hi, Team Gaia. Yes, this is for me. Okay, Jean, 10, maybe 100. You know that founder I was talking about, Melanie, you know, she came to this program. She's a SaaS founder and she had goals to be, 7-8 figures in a year. And she was like, Sarah, I now have absolute faith we're going to be $1 billion company, because she was able finally to give people clarity of her category of one foundation. That's the power we're talking about. So I want you to stop competing and give yourself permission to scale as a category of one business. So secret 2 is high impact offer. Okay, what do I mean? Let's dive in. So buyers choose less than 1% of what they're shown. Just let that sink in. Buyers choose less than 1% of what they're shown. The rest is waste. And buyers want not only, a clear category of one, they want such a clear offer. I call it a high impact offer, so that they know you're the business for them, the founder for them, and the offer for them. Now, when you were talking earlier, you were saying, I keep saying different things about my business. I used to be the same with my jeans business. So I'm going to share the example with you. It was very complicated innovation, and I had so much to tell buyers. I kept over functioning and telling them all these amazing things about what I did, but that just created confusion, right? Now, if your growth is inconsistent, there's 2 reasons. Either your business is too complicated or too generic. Write the answer in here. Do you think your business is too complicated or too generic?
No, neither.
Complex. So if you're saying no, neither, write what you mean by that in the chat.
Neither too complicated nor too complex.
Okay.
Nor too simple or too vague. Or generic. Nope, that's not what it's about. That's funny.
So write it in the chat here. Okay, too complicated, too generic, and if neither, what are you? Can it be both? Yes, it can be both. Great question, Yo-Yo. It can be too complicated and it could also be too generic. Really good question. Okay, buyers need you to lead them down the path of why you're a category of one business and why your offer is the number one for them. So it doesn't mean that you need to, be less complicated. It just means, or less generic. It just means that you need to figure out how to really sell your offer as a high impact offer. And you do that by focusing on one specific transformation for one perfect buyer and letting go of all the rest. Okay, so it's about going through an analytical process to decide this is the focus that is really going to be the offer for our ideal client. So when I applied this to my jeans business, I focused on feel good jeans as our category of one and a very simple collection for an ideal client of a conscious buyer. Right? I let go of everything else. I stopped talking about the rest of the things we were doing and I stopped trying to appeal to lots of different people and I focused very narrowly on this segment. The result was we gave buyers clarity, we gave customers clarity, and we went from overlooked to the number one brand, cult following, entrepreneur of the year by really simplifying our offer. Right? And simplicity is a complicated thing to do, but not when you do it in a systemized way. And this is how it applies to one of our members. So Marie and Jason had a 7-figure organic food business, right? They're an amazing retailer in the US and they were already at 7 figures, but they were like, oh, we have so many different customers, so much to our offering. At the one hand, they were generic, like you were saying, Yo-Yo, organic food is not a category of one. And on the other hand, they were complicated because they were offering many, many different types of products. So when they followed my high impact offer analysis process, which is all about stripping you back and simplifying your offering so that you are really hyper focused on the most value you can deliver to your ideal client, they went from actually being able to sell more to less people. And they realized their highest impact customers were already buying from them over $10,000 a year in product. And we gave them a system to find more of those clients, and they were able to sell more easily in less time, and they were able to increase their revenue and profit by 30%. Marie, like all our members, is fierce. Right? So, Impact Innovator isn't for everyone. It's for very savvy founders. Marie had tried the best coaches and systems in the world and been a buyer herself. But she says no one had helped her unlock really what her unique power as a category of one business with a high impact offer was. Right? Now, Marie, what we did was we helped her analyze all of her different offers and strip that back to what buyers valued about her the most, real food for real people. Now, when Marie did that, she was able to stop being generic and simplify her business at the same time. So she could cut out 30% of what she was selling and be 30% more profitable. That's the power of, again, when you simplify your offer to a high impact offer. Okay, you can save time, save money, sell more easily. Again, let me ask you, what impact would that enable you to have, right? Think how much time you would save in 1 week if you were able to just say, oh my gosh, if I just strip back my business and just say and sell the same thing in the same way every time, how much time would you save a week? 5 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours? You tell me, guys. Now, this process is enabling our members to save, I'd say it's more, around 2 to 4 hours a day. So yeah, that's around 10 to 20 hours a week. Yo. Exactly. Okay, and rather than working in a scattered way, work in a very systemized way. That is when you give yourself permission to stop offering more and start following a high impact framework. So secret 3 is social selling, okay? Systemizing how you sell, right? So we talked earlier, like, what's your issue in terms of sales? Some of you have mentioned like content, like visibility, like not having that solid conversion process in place. So the truth about selling today is there are thousands of choices, like we've shared, okay? And here's what I learned. Founders in every niche who are winning, they're building founder-led movements. Now, I know you're all making content. What if you had a process to, actually sell socially in a systemized way, meaning that your content converted? What difference would that make for you? If you actually could stop guessing what content to make and your content converted, your messaging converted, what difference would that make for you? Where you went from buyers kind of going, send me an email or ignoring you, to saying, yeah, oh my goodness me, Pamela, I really want to hear about what you do. Yes, Patricia, let's get on a call together. Yes, Tracy, you're the business for me. Because here is what step 3 is all about. Step 3 is about systemizing your content, your way that you sell, to have a social selling framework today. So it would boost your business 100x. Yes. So as an entrepreneur, I realized the problem, right? Service providers don't look at your business like buyers. They look at your business in silos, but buyers look at your business holistically and socially. They want to understand you holistically, your founder, who you are as a founder, your business, your offer. So if you can systemize, right, your content and how you show up online and offline to sell in a social, organized way, you start selling out. So one of our newest amazing members, Alice, she has a brilliant, mindful chocolate business. Now, she followed my social selling framework, which is about following steps 1 and 2, showing up to buyers with a clear category of 1 and a clear high impact offer, and then selling in a systemized way, basically following a formula, repeating that on content, repeating it how you show up socially, repeating it how you send messages to people. And she said, Sarah, you won't believe it. I went and I did this in-store experience the other week, and after being in that store for months and months and months, the next day, after I told all the buyers who we are in your social selling framework systemized way, they sold out overnight and placed a reorder the next day. That's the power of when you organize how you communicate in a social selling framework. And that's really what this step 3 is all about, organizing how you show up online and offline so that you're communicating really consistently what buyers value about you. So my second business, right? My first one, I'd spent 150K on all those different experts and realized that they don't speak to each other. And I realized that we need to underpin how we sell using buyer psychology. Every step I'm sharing with you today is buyer psychology, right? This step is about showing to buyers how you are the only choice in every way you communicate and show up as a founder. Now, when I launched my second business, Bespoke Your World, we went to 0 to 300K in revenue by creating a business on Instagram, right? Doing social selling. That's how I learned the power of how this works. And through doing and following this social selling framework to really simplify your messaging and focus on what buyers really care about, we were able to sell to the top 0.1% clients, which included Fortune 500 executives, global royalty, top people of influence, without spending any money on ads in a completely organic way. And we did all that with less than 50K invested, right? So what you want to really take away from this is to really follow and systemize how you sell in a simple way. So then what happened to me and why I am a business mentor today is clients ask me, how did we get bought and sold out so quickly? And I taught them this framework I'm sharing with you today in a mastermind, right? Every step I'm sharing with you today. So here's one of our members, Carol, who I mentioned right at the top of today's session. Carol was lost in the crowd, felt invisible. She had an innovative product, like you were saying, Yo-Yo. You know, she was actually both. She was innovative and generic at the same time, because she was generic, because she was kind of following everybody else's advice, and that led to her feeling uncool and inauthentic. Right? She couldn't build a movement or a tribe. She just tried to either work things out herself or follow those different pieces of advice, rather than following a process that unlocked her unique power in a social selling framework, systemized way. So as Carol shares here, she tried for years to scale with different experts before she met me, and no one could give her a system to systematically simplify her entire brand to a category of one, delivering a high impact offer buyers actually valued, right? Carol, when she had that system in place, could show up socially. She knew it wouldn't take her time and she could just follow a roadmap. That enabled Carol to become the number one voice that everyone really goes to now in her niche, which is responsible knitwear. And instead of chasing, she became the founder everybody chooses, with a 24/7 sales system in place. Carol has been able to go on, and now, as I mentioned, she's giving jobs, which really means a lot to Carol and means a lot to me, to 4,000 yak farming families in Tibet, because she follows this very simple system I'm sharing today. And she's scaling with 200K consistent sellout launches, which is enabling her to now scale to multiple 7 figures, right? So give yourself permission to really now say, you know what, this game today isn't about doing another post or, you know, doing a great speech. It's about actually following a framework to sell socially. So secret 4 is make an impact mindset. Like you said, and I shared at the beginning, you know, there's that famous saying, what got you here won't get you there. And that's what I really want you to take away from today, to give yourself permission to really open your mindset. How do you want to transform how you show up in the world? Because here's the thing that I realized and learned, 95% of success is about mindset, right? You only have so much energy. Like we were talking before, if you could follow a system and save all that energy, how much would it enable you to have more energy to do what you want to scale your business? It was after this moment I realized that I was burning out by trying to do it all myself. I was burning out by having the same limited mindset rather than learning from experts. And I learnt and made that decision. I will never do it again, right? I will invest and learn from different experts. I first did it in my life, climbing mountains, before business. And the transformation I saw in my personal life enabled me to do the same in business. And when you follow, and work with people who expand your mind and you follow different systems, it's game changing. So here's one of our members, Elizabeth, right? She had a business where she'd done many brilliant things. She'd been a top ballerina. She had been an amazing Pilates teacher, and she really also had been an entrepreneur. And she wanted to make documentaries about how to build purpose-led businesses. Now, what was stopping her was a mindset, because she was like, well, Sarah, I've been a ballerina and I've been a Pilates coach, but how do I actually shift my mindset to show up to the world as a documentary filmmaker? Now, when she followed these systematic steps, right, Elizabeth was able to show up in this new world that she was in, documentary filmmaking, and go as a newbie to award-winning in 12 months. She built the formula for the documentary company. She launched the documentary and won 18 international film awards. So that choice is, do you want to go slow in your life or fast? Who wants to go fast? Slow or fast? Right? So step 5 is for those who want to go fast. Yeah? Now, if you don't and you want to keep going on your own, then step 5 isn't for you. Because I care about people who really want to make an impact. So Elizabeth, I dared to launch an 18 film awards in less than 12 months. Okay, so which future wins for yourself? Keep going as you are, or take a new road where you unlock your real power as you. So that's secret 5. This is for people who really want to make the impact that they dream of quickly and don't want to waste time. So I spent years building piece by piece, doing road B, following all those different experts, hiring the branding agency, the coach, the salesperson, and I noticed a pattern. I was doing all the right things but not scaling because there was one thing missing: buyer psychology. Buyer psychology is literally following a system to look at your business holistically and put your growth plan in place holistically, because buyers need simplicity to buy. That changed everything for me. That learning, buyers need simplicity to buy, right? So if we follow different systems or try to do it ourselves, it creates confusion and chaos. Systems are fragmented when they don't talk to each other. So what I built with Impact Innovator is different. It's unique. It's one of a kind. And I don't, just invite anyone into this program. I invite people who want to make an impact, and I invite people who are ready to really grow and do this work. So the starting point is that category of 1 growth assessment. Now, I don't know if we have any more spots with me, but you can always do a spot with my call, or maybe Alex will let you know if there's one more, right? Now, what this system does is it gives each founder a simple in-house, custom-made growth system. This is totally bespoke for every founder who does this. We give you a plug and play formula of the right ways to do your category of 1, simplify your business to a high impact offer, get buyers to notice and buy from you, socially sell. But then we also give you custom made buyer psychology feedback. We do that so you can build a team to scale without you 24/7. And here is how the roadmap works. And then we have a couple of minutes left for questions. The first step is your category of 1 foundation, so that in 30 days you go from one of many, generic or complicated, to one of one. So you stand out in a saturated market. The second step is that we look at your entire offering and we help you optimize it using our analytical process so that you are a high impact offer, and we help you see the quickest wins that you can do to scale your business, your clients, your sales, and your organic sales. Now, I care that you build an organic roadmap for your growth. This is what we're talking about here. This means that you can scale consistently no matter what happens in the world. Step 3 is your social selling engine. We help each founder build that social selling framework so you can show up consistently online and offline as a number one founder with a number one business and be able to communicate really simply, consistently, so buyers say yes. Now, I only invite up to 2 new members a month to join this program, right? And as I said, it's not for everybody. It doesn't matter what revenue you're at. If you want to make 100K, 1 million, 10 million, a billion. This is the same system. It works for everyone. What matters is just that you want to make an impact. So you can take everything I've shared with you and implement it on your own. As I shared, the only thing that I can't guarantee is how much time it's going to take. So if you want to just crack on and scale your business, now is a unique opportunity, and the opportunity is the Impact Innovator. So we have built this program. It's for visionary creators, product founders, innovators, coaches, and consultants. And it's for people who really want to show up as a category of one and get out of their own heads and say, do you know what? I'm sick of trying to work all this out myself or trying all these different systems. I just want one simple system to move quickly. Okay, so Alex, I don't know if we've got any spots left. You can let anybody know that here. And while Alex is doing that, we're just up to the hour. And I really want to ask you guys, I want to first thank you for your time. And I want to ask you, what is, your burning question you have for me about your business, right? So we've spent some really good time together right now. So, Jean, Tracy, Dr. Makiba, Yo-Yo, Katrina, Pamela, Patricia, if you have a burning question about your growth, you can jump on that call, right? Now, it might be with me. Now, I can't guarantee because I think we've just got one slot left with me, or it might be with my team. And I can also answer your questions now. Like you can say, what is it that you want to know? Alex, do we have any questions from LinkedIn?
Actually, one from YouTube. Christy, she said, honestly, some days I wonder if I'm the reason my business isn't scaling faster. How do I know if it's more of a strategy problem or a me problem?
So that's a great question. It is both. So it's always a you problem. And like I said, I really mean that, Christy, in the kindest way. Is why I put this step 4 in place, impact mindset. We only know what we know, as my dad said. And I love that saying. He says, you don't know what you don't know. And that's the thing. It's always a me problem because we can't see our blind spots. And that's why we open up and why working with a mentor that has a system that changed my life. And it's why I became a mentor. First I did it in the hiking space, and I wanted to climb and summit mountains like Base Camp Everest, like the Dolomites I just got back from, and I couldn't do it for years. And then I met Mike and he showed me his system, and that's strategy, right? So Mike showed me a different mindset, but he also taught me a system. So back to Christy's question, it's always both. It's you and your strategy. So, that's my learning for all of you, to really make a decision. Whatever the new road is that you're going to take that new road where you enable and allow yourself to be supported by top mentorship, right? Whether you decide to, that you want to actually have a call with us, or whether it's somebody else, make sure that you get yourself supported by top mentorship, and make sure that you follow a strategy to really look at your business holistically. So thank you for that great question, Christy. Any more, Alex, your side, and any from any of you guys here? You can drop your questions in the chat. Alex, any you've got?
All good on this end.
Okay, Amazing. So with that said, thank you, Tracy, Alex, Andrea, Patricia, Yo-Yo, Katrina, for all being here, and everybody else who's joined us on LinkedIn and YouTube. It's been a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to connecting with you guys again soon. Take care, everybody. Thank you. Bye.